everyone, this is Steve Rozenberg with Mynd Property Management, and today I'm joined with Brandon Graham, who is our portfolio manager in Phoenix for Mynd Operations. Brandon, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So what I'd like to know is Phoenix is a great booming area. There's a lot of people coming to Phoenix and they're buying properties, they're investing. Why, in your opinion, do you think Phoenix is a great place for investors to come and invest their money?
Yeah, for a lot of the reasons you just said, people are in transit to Phoenix. So unlike a lot of the major markets around us, the property values in Phoenix are still relatively low, comparatively speaking. So now is the time to get in while property values are at this price point, because as people continue to migrate from areas like California, where it's more and more difficult to get a job, it's crowded. People are coming here from there. And then especially from the Midwest, we have so many people that are coming from cooler climates who are tired of digging their car out of the snow every morning, who want to come to Phoenix and not have to deal with any of that. So the population growth here, the continued growth in terms of new buildings, new technology companies coming here, there's so much opportunity for our market to continue to improve. For example, I recently had a client who I work with. I was just managing one property for them here in the Phoenix area. They let me know that they had a townhome in Denver that they'd had for several years. The property value was super high. They just didn't feel like it was possible for it to really go any higher because the market there in Denver was going so crazy. So what we actually ended up doing was selling that property there in Denver and 1031 exchanging that down here in Phoenix, and they bought 2 single-family homes.
Wow.
So, talk about really leveraging their investment and setting themselves up for a greater return on investment in the future. It's a great opportunity to get into our market now.
That's great. And one of the things I always look at when I'm looking at a city is what are the economic drivers to that city? And what I mean by that is if you're looking at a place to invest and the price structure works and let's say the investment property matches what your goals are, because you always want to buy the property based on the goal, not the other way around. But if that happens, now I want to see, okay, how are people employed? Is there one major employer in the city and one major industry, or are there multiple different industries that are feeding into the city? And as we know, Phoenix has multiple industries that feed it, which to me is a good sign, because if one industry should fail, it's not going to make the whole city implode. And that's something as an investor, you want to look at. And like you had said, timing is everything. If we had this conversation 10 years ago, after the economic recession, probably it'd be a great place to invest, probably not the best place to sell your investment asset. And, one of the things I think is important is that real estate is cyclical. It goes in cycles. It goes up just as much as it goes down. And you just have to make sure that you're looking at the data, you're looking at the numbers, and you're looking at what's driving the data and the numbers to tell you if it makes sense. And, right now it does make sense because, as you said, there's other places that are more expensive. So if you're in another city or another state, it may make more sense because it's on the upward slide right now of increasing.
Yeah, great point you made there. Like you said, there's so many employers here in Phoenix that there's no single company that can pull out and cause a downturn in the economy here. There's more and more companies that are discovering it's cheaper to run their operations out of Phoenix. So they're shifting over here. It's great for our growth.
Yeah, and the nice thing about a couple of things is you have an influx of other states such as California and other states that are much more higher and expensive. So you're always going to have that influx of people, but more importantly, there's a lot of land to grow, and that's the nice thing about Phoenix as opposed to some other cities that are just landlocked and there's nowhere for them to go. So they go vertical, and so do the prices. So again, that's another reason I think Phoenix is a very smart investment. And again, it's a large retirement community. So it's not like people move away from there once they retire. They actually move there to retire, which is normally when they have more money, and they may just want to rent and not worry about buying. So if you own the investment property, it's a great place to have the rental. So,
absolutely.
Brandon, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think that's great information about Phoenix. If somebody wants to get a hold of you and talk about purchasing properties or maybe even having Mynd manage their current portfolio, how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, definitely find us on our website. We're at mind.co, and Mynd is spelled MYND. And then my personal email address is brandon.graham@mind.co.
Great. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group, it's called the Mastermind Real Estate Investment Club. And again, mind is spelled MYND. So it's the Mastermind Real Estate Investment Club. And in there, there's a lot of experts and people conversing, and you'll get a lot of dialogue and discussions about things that may be questions that you have that maybe you don't know where to go for answers. We also have a podcast show. It's called The Mindful Investor, MYND. The Mindful Investor podcast show. It comes out every week. And we have industry leader experts on the show, and they talk about not only their successes, but they talk a lot about their failures and how they've overcome those failures and challenges. And again, those might help you with maybe some current things that you have or in the future may have. So again, on behalf of Brandon, myself, and mine, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.